Yeah. Talk a little bit about, how you come into your own, you grow up, you become, one of India's foremost tuberculosis experts, TB scientists. As a grown woman, dealing with prejudice all around you, and it's in every profession, what were some of the most sexist things that you, as a woman scientist, actually had to confront?
Yeah, well, and I think, this is global, it's worldwide, it's not just India. In fact, in India, maybe we're even a bit better off. We had role models of women, both in science and in politics and so on, well before some of the Western countries did. We had role models in medicine for sure, right from the early 1920s. So in a way, in medicine, actually, you don't have that uh, gender imbalance to the extent that you have, say, in physics or astronomy or pure mathematics. And so you feel it less. But at the same time, as you become more and more senior and advance, and then you find yourself in meeting rooms and committees, particularly in, whether it's a scientific academy meeting or whether it's a government meeting, you are outnumbered. Men do outnumber women. There are many organizations where the heads are all men. So at that time, you feel that you're being ignored, and I think women are less likely to be aggressive and speak up. At least that's me. I would wait for my turn to speak, and very often that turn never came because there were always men who wanted to have their say and were much more forceful and aggressive. And at times, I would feel that I was being ignored. And I must say, it was my mentors at that time when I was in my early 30s and working at the Tuberculosis Research Center who kept telling me that it was important for me, because I was a technical expert, to go to these meetings and to be heard. And sooner or later, people would start listening, depending on what you had to offer and to say. But it is difficult, and very often there's also a north-south divide. And even though I grew up in the north, Barkha, so I'm very fluent in Hindi, but many of my South Indian colleagues used to say they felt so uncomfortable. They would go to Delhi for a meeting, and the meeting would then basically happen in Hindi, and anyone who was not Hindi speaking would feel really excluded. So there are many ways in which you can feel excluded, not just because you're a woman. And over time, of course, you learn that you need to assert yourself, you need to and I still remember one incident when I became the DG of ICMR. I landed at 1 p.m. in Delhi. I went to meet the health secretary. He said, 2 o'clock is your meeting. Now that you're here, you're chairing it. I walked into the room and I find all my ex-teachers and mentors and senior colleagues sitting around, and I'm expected to chair this meeting. And then they were all men, and all of them start talking, and I'm not able to even, how could you say, to your somebody who's 20 years senior to you. So that's again an Indian ethos where we're really taught to respect our seniors. So I think all of those things really make it harder for women to assert themselves. But this is something I think the younger generation, I think it's changing. It's definitely changing.